So, the next catalyst for Virgin Galactic. I mean, when we are talking about those catalysts, first of all, Virgin Galactic is such a growth stock and such a story stock that not operation itself, but actually events and catalysts are driving stock higher, okay? And if you are looking in my catalyst list from the 26th of February, which I need to update now, we had a couple of now revealed catalyst for the space stock. We had the Spaceship 3 reveal, which was an interesting one because we knew, okay, it's a new design and it's modular based. More information we couldn't have. Maybe it's coming at the Q1 earnings report, maybe a little bit later this year. Maybe we just see the test flights, okay? Nobody know at this point. So all of this is speculation. However, it's definitely in the right direction. This move that they are now already building the next spaceship already, okay? And if it's going into space, I think maybe by the end of the year they will have another spaceship. So the growing of the fleet is very, very important because then they can ship out, 3 groups of tourists into space, maybe on the same day even, right? So there's a very, very good steps taken from that. Then the next one was the ARKX launch, which was fantastic also because first when the first fund list, I will show you the fund list how it looks now, but for first fund list was quite interesting because they are building up obviously the positions, and while Virgin Galactic is now number 20 out of 40 companies, the first, I think they had like 700 shares, okay, much less than maybe some of you have out there, right? But this increased obviously every single day. Now they are holding in this fund 288,000 shares, which is equivalent to 8.8 million US dollars, okay, which is approximately 1.93% of the whole ARKX fund. Now, this was also quite exciting, and with more buying, obviously this helps the stock. And then, the next thing that I think as a driver is actually not the test flight in May, which I put here as number 3. I think the next one actually now will be the earnings release. Why? Not because we have some crazy new numbers or some new deposits or something. The last earnings calls were all to update us on certain things. The last one, the big news was when the test flight is happening and what is actually happening to the spaceship that they cannot fly it. The one before was also an update on the program, definitely the first earnings call with Michael Colglazer and all of this thing. So I think, the next one should give us a little bit an update on the team, what they are working on maybe, what is the test flight schedule, the new one in May, and maybe something else, okay? Maybe also the extension of the fleet where they see the timelines going on. And, you remember the Italian Air Force client that they will fly in end of this year was also announced during the last quarter earnings. So as you can see here, this was quite interesting, and all of this news are coming out always on this earnings calls and earnings releases. And and basically if we're looking into that, so according to NASDAQ, you can see here that the next earnings is expected to be 4th of May. So really the April is a waiting month right now, okay? So the market can go up, down, we don't know. Maybe the market rotation still don't benefit space that much. And if we are looking into these stocks today, we are seeing even spaces going down 3% as of this recording, okay? They are closing a gap as well, technically speaking. So it all depends what's going on with the overall market over this couple of weeks. And I think there's no big other news that we can assume at least that will be driving for Virgin Galactic, okay? So this is from that front, and I think this is very important. But what I'm doing during those off days, let's say space off days, that might surprise you. And I'm doing something quite simple. I'm just buying more. Yes, every month I have obviously some inflows of cash, right? And this proceedings, I actually try, obviously I need to live my life somehow, but everything that I can save, I put into stocks, okay? And I try to buy every now and then. I don't try to time the market because this is not possible. You will be wrong anyway, and you will be on the wrong side when you think, wow, now is the best time to sell. Actually, it goes further higher and other way around. So it's actually might quite nicely to buy more and more. And currently, you know, my first time I bought Spce stock, and you were with me the very first 888 stocks, and since then, you know, building up this huge position, I bought at I think $16 or $17, and then, you know, bought more and more and more, and currently I have a average price of $21 or $22. So you can see here, even though it's not that great of a return in total, but still, you know, if you consider, wow, all of these catalysts are actually helping, even though the stock doesn't go higher, right? But think about it, it also doesn't go lower. So what's actually happening is that the stock found a kind of new plateau, in my personal opinion, before it can skyrocket again to 40, 50, 60 levels. Because prior to that, you know, just a couple of months before, we were lucky when it stayed at 20, right? Or even 18 or 19, and it went always to this bottom. I remember like 17 was always like this bottom where always people said, oh, will it go to 14? Will it go to 15? You know, and when it went to 22, we were all super excited, and those times are over, guys. Okay, we are already in the next level. And think about it, it actually helped because you are seeing that the development of the company might on the first level is quite still stand. I mean, they still have no operation. They delayed a couple of things, but still the stock has more and more achievements, right? I mean, now with the spaceship, they having the new clients like the Italian Air Force, they having, you know, NASA as a client for the payload. They are actually, you know, having a very, very interesting path to further spaceports. Though it's not confirmed yet, but now with the collaboration with the Italian Air Force, it's quite interesting that they might really consider a spaceport in Italy, in which interview of Mr. the ex-CEO, Mr. George Whiteside, said they have already a memorandum of understanding. It's like a signed contract without binding itself. And then you have, you know, these interviews by Michael Koglaser or Richard Branson that actually are, you know, making me feel super, super nice when I just listen to them and what they are actually planning and how convinced they are about the company. Here, for example, a small snippet of the recent CBS interview.
In the craft of, you know, one of the most beautiful crafts I think ever built.
I think it's fair to say it is a gorgeous spaceship. I want to go to Michael now. I'm interested in having Gayle King become an astronaut one day. So my question to you, the date for people going up in this spacecraft has been pushed ahead to early 2022. It's been a long process, as Richard pointed out. How confident are you in 2022 as being the actual go date for people launching?
So we've got 4 flights that we've announced. We are planning to get back to space in New Mexico in May. And following that flight, we have 2 fully crewed flights. The first of those will be just internal mission specialist. And the one following will actually have Richard joining us. And it's really to kind of showcase what's the private astronaut experience going to be. And we think kind of who better than Richard to demonstrate that. We'll have another flight with Italian Air Force that will showcase the scientific research capabilities. And then, as you said, when we get into 22, we expect to open up for all the private astronauts to go. But following the flight we do with Richard this summer, we plan to open up sales again, and looking forward for people able to sign up and come to space with us.
Michael, what I'm really asking is, how long do I have to convince Gayle King to spring for a ticket and become a private astronaut? Gayle, do you have a question about flight that you want to...
I do, actually, because, listen, Richard, I think I agree with Tony. I think the spaceship is very cool, Tony and Michael. I like Richard, when you said it's a ride of a lifetime. But I am curious about the price. You said it's going to go down and be more affordable. What's your definition of affordable? I'm curious. What is it? Do you have a number on that yet?
Well,
we don't have a number.
We don't have a number.
But
Richard, first.
Our plan is to build a number of spaceships, and so we could maybe get up to sort of 400 or 500 flights a year, and then we will try to get it down to a price where as many people as possible are able to go up.
So slowly but surely, we are actually developing into this stock that will at the point in the soon future be a $100 stock. And I think that it's, just building up. And though you don't see the short-term development of the stock, but you see the long-term development over the last couple of 2 years. Okay, so you see like starting at the IPO price at $10, going to 14, to 17, staying at 17, going to 22, going back to 17, going back to 22, 25, 27, then back to 18, 19, then to go to 40, 40, 60, and then now go to 30 again. So still, it's still like a nice slowly gain into valuation, exactly what we like. From the IPO itself, in 2 years, we tripled the value of the company. Okay, so if this continues every 2 years, I'm totally fine with that. Okay, so they can make test flights for 10 years if they continue to grow in stock price and valuation, guys. That's just showing you how interesting of this investment this is. I dropped a huge case study, and we are having actually the last day that we're having 10% discount on this course X10 masterclass, where I'm talking about how to find the next X10 stock, and also how to look into the stocks, how to use Excel files that are inside the course, and everything about Virgin Galactic. So it's very, very much value packed with a lifetime access to Discord. So I'm super much excited. I hope you too, and take care and check it out. And I see you obviously tomorrow.